let's send in our guests real quick. I got a nice little treat for you guys. You guys know that I like to do my motivation. Carson got a bar.
Yeah, actually, two things, two hip hop things. Okay. One, anyone listening to this, go stream De La Soul.
Yeah,
they're finally on streaming platforms. R.I.P. Trugoy, obviously one of the founding members of De La Soul, passed away. After years and years, their catalog is finally on all streaming. So if you got Apple Music, Spotify, open up accounts on both and stream it on there. But I've been running up numbers on me, myself, and I. But yeah, do that. And then what's a bar? How about Without a Rover got more range than Ray Ordonez? You don't know him, but baseball season. Shout out to Pharoah Monch.
All right.
Official.
All right. Come on, Greg. Have a seat. What's up, man? How you doing? I'm good, boss. How you?
Good, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Good to see you. You guys, have you been in the store before, right?
GBR? Not up towards Cleveland. I think I went to the one in Kent. There's one on campus. Yeah, in Kent State.
Yeah, we have one in Kent. Yep.
Yeah.
How long y'all had that one in Kent?
About almost 2 years now.
I did not know that.
We have 4 stores now.
Well, shoot, man. This makes it even better. Yeah. Introduce yourself real quick.
I'm Greg Vlosich from GV Art. Me and Shawn go way back to Cleveland. And
I did not want to butcher that last name all these years. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you do.
Yeah, so we have a creative boutique. We do everything from artwork. We're known now mostly for our apparel, which has become, the most popular brand in Cleveland. We started in 2007, with the apparel, and it actually started with my brother doing an Etch-a-Sketch of LeBron for the finals. And
I think we got that one. Throw up the Etch-a-Sketch right quick.
Yeah, when you say Etch-a-Sketch, people are like, what's that gonna be?
You dove right into the whole story. I think we had that one. So is this the one?
That's Ali.
This is Ali.
So that's a Etch-a-Sketch, yeah.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, who did that one? You or your brother?
No, my brother. So I'm artistic. I do a lot of the the artwork and stuff for the everything else, but he does the Etch-a-Sketch. So I don't mess around with that.
You got the one with LeBron? See the one with, do you know who LeBron is? There it is. No.
Yeah, that's LeBron.
Kind of is it?
That's the one when they won the championship.
Okay,
so
yeah. But this is where it all started, right?
Three former
So
Cavaliers.
that was our first, going to T-shirts and stuff like that. We did a whole campaign around it for the NBA Finals. It had 1 million hits in a week. His video, and then we're like, that was a lot of fun. Let's do more with this and with the shirts. And we started the Cleveland That I Love brand and campaign, and it took off. And it was just really cool to see. We had people at first laughing at us, saying, "Who's going to wear Cleveland stuff?" And it's cool now, 15 years later, to see the pride in Cleveland is unmatched. So.
Are you guys like a lot of the stories out there where it started in the garage, it started in the basement?
Oh yeah, it started in my parents' basement, and my mom was a teacher, and she'd leave for work, and she'd say, "All right, there's 15 boxes in the living room." She's like, "These got to be out of here by the time I get back."
Right.
We get rid of all those.
That's a sales
ship them. We do
right
it,
there.
And then 15 more would come, and she's like, "I thought I told you." I'm like, "No, these are all new boxes." So we would have people coming by. We'd have 10, 15 people a day coming by my parents' basement to buy stuff. And we're like, all right, I think it's time to open up a store. So we opened up our shop in Lakewood in 2013. Quickly outgrew that one, and we've moved into a newer one there, and now we have 4 stores. So it's been great. Yeah.
I didn't know you have 4 stores.
Yep. We just opened our newest one in Avon last year. So
wow.
That one's
good for you, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, yeah.
That makes this even better. So I told you I wanted to bring you in and just kind of use you as a motivational message for this week's show. You being in here in Vegas, it kind of just made sense.
Yeah,
I wanted to catch up with you anyway, and so to me this made sense. Tell us some of the athletes you work with beyond doing LeBron's.
Yeah, so like our first collab was with the Goon Squad, so it was cool. A lot of the players were wearing our stuff, but that was our first kind of collab. Giambi called me and was like, "Hey, we got this locker room thing, but it's not everybody knows about it. We want you to put some ideas together." So we collab with the Goon Squad, and literally
they were the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Gladiators.
Now they're the Guardians. Yeah. So I'm still used to saying Indians. I think everybody
throwback
is.
faces right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Little Michael Vilas action.
Yep. So that was cool, and it, they were just as excited to be a part of it as we were, and it's we're fans first and foremost. So the year after when they went to the World Series, we had the entire team came out the night before the World Series wearing our shirts and stuff. So that was pretty cool, and I know you're a big Browns fan, so we worked with Chubb and Myles Garrett. We launched a Jurassic Miles shirt and a Flash shirt and stuff like that. So it's just cool. All those guys come by the store.
Yeah.
And, you know, just as fans of Cleveland and of our teams now getting a chance to work with them and stuff. So that was cool. So we teamed up with the defense, and every week we'd get the defense different shirts, and they'd wear them to the games and like travel day and stuff like that. And then they'd wear them before the game. So Mac Wilson was good buddy, and he would stop by every week and get shirts for the guys and hook them up and stuff like that. So that was fun. But that was cool for the Browns playoff run.
Yeah.
I mean, everything took off. It was just cool to be a part of it. And,
Yeah.
you know how the guys were wearing the chain, the dog chain? That was actually ours. So I pitched the guys. I was hey, we did this dog chain shirt. It's huge. Why don't we do an actual chain? They bought into it. It was their turnover chain.
Nice.
And when they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, they put it on 5 different times. They had 5 turnovers. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's just been, a thrill to see it grow and give back to the community. And
Hey, does Myles Garrett have a nickname?
I don't think so.
They called him Flash. Like that was his thing.
First it was social media too.
So his Flash is his thing, But like he was big into dinosaurs, so that's where
Okay, that's why I asked about that.
The Miles one, and that's the thing. There's a lot of T-shirt companies, but we like to really kind of dive into what makes the player special or unique. With the Chubb one, when we launched that shirt, no one knew that he was a big Batman guy.
Yeah,
but his agent's like, hey, he loves Batman. If you can tie that in somehow, so we did a Batman Chubb shirt. Yeah, took off, and now it's everybody knows that now, so it's pretty cool.
Hey, how old was your brother when he started doing the Etch-a-Sketches?
So I was 5, he was 10 when he started, and we were on a trip to Washington, D.C., and stopped at my parents' house to get the maps or whatever it was, and she had her old Etch-a-Sketch when she was a kid in the basement. Yeah. So she threw it in the car. She's like, that'll keep him occupied for a little bit. And he did the U.S. Capitol building. My parents stopped off at a gas station. They're like, we got to take a picture before you guys erase it. Wow. And he just kept working on it. So
we'll leave that one on the screen for a second. But go ahead.
But we've been, from that picture, we've been painting and drawing since we were, 2 years old. My dad's artistic and put a pen and a ball in our hands. Yeah. And so that was us at the old stadium. We used to go down with posters. Yeah. And take them down there to the games and get the players to sign them and stuff. And so it's cool to come full circle now and do, what we love, which is sports and art, and really, combine them.
Back then, that is at a Cleveland Indians game. I can say it because
Municipal Stadium. Yeah.
Municipal Stadium. Back then, did you know what you wanted to do in life? Was this something that you aspired to do?
Yeah. Again, we knew we wanted to do something with sports and art. Never knew how. Never knew what it was going to do. At my teachers growing up, I'd be in art class and I'd be, you got to draw this house or this flower, and I'd be drawing sports guys and stuff. They'd never like that. You got to do this or this. And we knew what we loved. And I'd stay up till 4 a.m. drawing Kobe Bryant, but I didn't want to spend an hour on a house or something, So we knew, from a young age, this is what we wanted to do, but, didn't know to what extent or how we would do it. And I think that's the one thing, we started out more as a creative boutique and design service. We designed LeBron's logo, his rookie year and stuff like that. And that was kind of more the direction we were going, along with our high-end artwork and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then, the recession happened, and not everyone was going to spend thousands of dollars on artwork, but everybody, wanted a $20, $25 t-shirt. And that's really kind of was the perfect timing to, again, evolve our business and really just see where it, it took us and stuff. So.
You did basketball, right?
Yeah.
Did you play overseas?
I didn't play overseas. Oh, okay. So I went to art school my freshman year of college, and it was just too much art for me. And so I transferred to Cleveland State, ended up going to one open gym. Their coaches were at that open gym. Yeah. I played awesome against their starting point guard, and they're like, hey, you have any interest in walking on? I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. So, 2 weeks later, I went up against 8 other kids, and I beat them all out for the walk-on spot. Sweet. And then I played 4 years there. Sweet. So that was pretty cool. So
how far did you want to take basketball, as a kid? Did you want to be?
I mean, that would have been my first love and goal was basketball. Yeah. I mean, I taped, Jason Williams games and Iverson's games and all that before they were, on all the time. Sure. And just studied their moves and stuff. So that was my first passion. But it's cool now to be able to still be in that area and work with those guys and stuff like that. So, but that would have, I'd pass up the shirts to play some NBA.
You didn't send us any art that you've done. Okay. But did you? Hopefully, we'll get something up eventually. But you still do art yourself?
Yeah, I still do a lot of the art, and so I handle a lot of the social media for us and stuff as well. But I mean, it's a very collaborative process between my brother, my dad, and I, and we have one other artist who's awesome. Yeah. But it's all we brainstorm the ideas together, and my brother comes from the ad background where he worked at an ad agency, for 10 years. So when players come to us, a lot of or companies, we work with a lot of charities. We'll give them 5-6 ideas for them to pick from because we're creative and we love being creative. And it's not, hey, here's one idea, this is what we're doing type of thing. So,
got anything?
No. I have multiple shirts.
Nice. Yeah.
I feel like last one I had was probably probably one of the Jose Ramirez ones.
Yeah.
Guess what, Jose?
That was cool because again, it's fun when the guys buy into it. And Jose, he didn't take that shirt off literally all year. Yeah. And so I remember the first time we went to the Indians practice back when they were the Indians, and they had us come to BP and stuff like that. And Brantley had our birthplace of a Superman shirt on underneath, and we've tried for years. He wore that for like 3 straight years. We tried to get him a new one. He's like, no, this is my superstition now. Like, I don't take this one off type of thing. So, but it's always fun when the guys get behind it and they, really support it and stuff like that. So.
That's another thing for me. Like, I never realized the kind of effect I would have on people. Did that ever come into your mind?
With us?
Yeah.
I mean, no, not really. And like, I still don't think of it as much. People around me are always, people come up to us at the games and stuff like that and stop us. And I actually had people here in Vegas that recognize us and stuff
straight
like
up,
that, which was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't really think anything of it, but people like around are always like, oh my gosh, like, do you ever think about that? I'm like, no, not really, and I'm sure you're the same way where like,
no, never knew. And I do motivation now because of it,
exactly.
So eventually it's like, you have to just kind of take what God is giving you to,
right,
leading you to. So yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. With like a lot of the shirts, we'll try to tie in with the charity. So like the Myles Garrett one, we did something with Footpath Foundation. Nice. So we raised over like $10,000 the first couple of weeks for that. And then when Andrew Miller came to the Indians, we did a Miller Time shirt. Yeah. And we raised like $14,000 for for his charity and stuff like that. So there's always we're always trying to kind of give back or tie it in. Yeah. And work with our goal when we started was to team up with Cleveland businesses, and now it's pretty cool to see how many, it's hundreds of them that we've teamed up with and stuff. So
I love it. 4 stores, right?
Yep, 4 stores.
Avon is the newest.
Yep.
What Kent would be the second newest?
Third. Yeah, second newest. Second
newest. Yeah, and then you're still in Lakewood.
Lakewood's our main one. So if you're in town, come check that one out. And then Willoughby was our second one.
Yeah, and Willoughby. Yeah. I don't think I ever went to the Willoughby one.
It's a little hike from.
I was gonna say it's out.
But you're
out there, man.
I know Willoughby. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I know Willoughby. I don't think I've been out there
to
your store.
Yeah, it's right by the captains. Yeah.
The motivation behind this. First of all, congratulations and thank you for everything that you do for the businesses back home and the charities. I'm big on charities and things like that. So
absolutely.
Definitely want to tell you I appreciate you for that. And this is the motivation that I have for this week. Pull up the small little drawn logo. And when I contacted you about coming in here to do the podcast today, I was like, cool. I just wanted to talk about you and the things that you've done for me and things like that. I ended up at breakfast with my family yesterday, and we were at IHOP. They didn't have anything for the kids to draw, but they brung blank pieces of paper with crayons. And so I ended up drawing this here, and I had to redraw it because I didn't have the original. We ended up leaving it at IHOP. But as I was drawing that right there at breakfast, my wife said, what are you drawing? I said, oh, well, this is what I thought was going to be my logo when I was a kid. I've always knew what I was going to do in life. I always knew that I was going to be on TV. I always knew that I was going to be in athletics, and the list goes on. I started working on my autograph when I was like 10, 11 years old, which is why I take a lot of pride in my signature because I've been working on it for a long time. I've always knew what I was going to do. I've always had a dream, and that's what I want to tell everybody out there. Kids who are boxing right now, you're 10, 11 years old, you have someone who's fighting, you have someone who's doing art, you have someone who's playing football, basketball, whatever the case may be. Keep going. It does not stop unless you stop it. You have to have a dream. And if you have a dream, you keep following that dream, you'll end up with 4 stores around the city where you were just a kid trying to get someone else's autograph. Now people probably want your autograph.
Yep.
It can happen, but you have to have a dream. And the reason why I showed that logo right there is because I was a teenager when I started doing that logo, but I knew I'm going to have a logo someday.
Yep.
And after I drew that,
horrendous, by the way. Let me just get that out.
Doesn't matter because while I'm at breakfast and I draw that, just showing the family and all that.
Kids drew that.
No. The thought comes
Look
in.
he's had on his
I said,
face for the past 5 minutes.
Well,
It's been great.
great thing I got Greg coming in, because look at my logo now. Something that Greg and his brother and everyone put together. But that's where it started. It started with a dream, me knowing what I wanted to do in life. And I'll tell my testimony really quickly. My mom, we grew up in church, and I remember I was probably about 7, 8 years old. My mom said to me, God gives everyone gifts, and it's our job to use our gifts to bring other people to God. Yep. And so I always knew that. I'm like 10 years old, and I see Jerome Bettis score a touchdown. And he dropped down on his knee. You could see that he said a quick prayer, and he pointed to the sky. And I said, that's what I'm going to do with my life. And that's how I'm going to bring glory to God. I'm going to get down on my knee, just like you guys see when I would be in the ring. And I'm going to give God the glory, give him his moment, in the moment that everybody sees me having a moment, you know? Yep. But it came from a dream. And that's what I want to say to everybody right there. You show the other logo real quick. They say, hey, you got this one right here. You know how Nike breaks it up. You got the SP, and then you got the whole thing where the Nike is right there with it. Showtime, Shawn P. And so you guys really, you did some work for me back in the day. And I wanted to, again, publicly tell you I appreciate that work you did for me. We're still using it, still making it work. I love it. You see, you got the cross on it, you know, so that's where it all came from. But the point of this today is just, I want everybody to understand that you can be a kid in an arena. And if you have a dream when you're a kid in the arena, you look up. As long as you do everything you need to do, you stay focused, you stay dedicated, you keep growing and learning, listening to those who are teaching you and guiding you and things like that, you'll look up and you'll be everything that you had dreamt you could be, because you stay with it, you have faith, and you went for it. This is the PorterWay.